just about to post episode 6 of SenseSpace with the philosopher Andrew Taggart, and I thought, I've been thinking for some time that it would be good to do some housekeeping, just to post something to talk about what's going on with SenseSpace, what it is, where it's going, and so forth. So, where to start? I mean, SenseSpace has been, I started earlier this year in around February, so much of the project and the journey has taken place in quarantine, and I've been moving around. I'm presently in Athens with my parents, and what I'm finding is that SenseSpace is kind of evolving, and I don't actually know what it is or where it's going, but therein lies a lot of the excitement and potential of it. I guess the mission statement of SenseSpace when I began was to make sense, to explore meaning, and to be exploring meaning in the emergent landscape. But if you consider those three things, what you actually have is sort of three unknowns, three questions without many answers. It's not really apparent that we know how to make sense right now. It's not really apparent that we have a good grounding in meaning, hence why so many people are talking about a meaning crisis right now. And we don't really know what the emergent landscape is. Much of my efforts of the last several years has been kind of tracking these emergent conversations, starting out very early on with the intellectual dark web, when you had thinkers like kind of Jordan Peterson and Brett Weinstein and Sam Harris kind of bringing out a new space, and some of that sort of stagnated, and then you've had new thinkers coming in the wake and a kind of new space emerging behind that with other people like Jordan Hall, Daniel Schmachtenberger, now Guy Sengstock, and John Vervaeke. But what I've been finding in the SenseSpace journey is that the nature of the thing itself really is kind of relational. As I started out designing the logo with my friend Rory Noble Turner, who is a really brilliant architectural designer, I found that my understanding of what it was changed just by kind of engaging in the creative process with him. And as I've gone through the course of these last 6 conversations, what I'm finding is that each conversation changes the space. And that seems right in a sense, because I'm not trying to create a show or kind of a solid frame in which speakers are kind of brought in. The thing itself is kind of responsive to each speaker and each dialogue, and that's part of the quality of SenseSpace. And so I guess it's really an invocation in a way, an invitation for you, the listener, and also for the speakers who are joining me to SenseSpace, quite literally to kind of drop down out of the head into the body and really feel a sense of spaciousness, which is so lacking in the public domain, in the public conversation right now, and is so exciting to me because, well, we don't really know what the horizons are of that either. There is a kind of depth to sensing into space in the body, which can kind of take us beyond ourselves. So yeah, I'm excited at where it's going. I'm going to continue talking to the speakers, which I consider to be kind of at the cutting edge, and follow my nose on that. But I am aware that there's been a lot of sort of existential philosophy mental health stuff. We've been talking about death, beauty, pornography, or technology, all kinds of things. But that's actually not, a lot of my background was focused on free speech, blasphemy, the role of Islam in the West. And I have a lot of interest in questions surrounding China and Hong Kong. So I'm definitely going to be looking to expand the domain of the conversation and start reaching out to more people in the policy space and some of the people more kind of in the existing institutions. But I do feel it's quite important to start with this cutting edge, because I think what we're doing here, and what I really felt when I spoke with Guy Sengstock in episode 5, was that we're kind of creating a new culture within these conversations, and that's a really kind of powerful, transformative thing, and it's the thing which is going to enable us to salvage the kind of collapsing mainstream cultural space by creating something new or recreating. So yeah, looking forward to seeing where it all goes. And I invite listeners, if you have ideas, if you have people that you think that it would be valuable for me to speak to, get in touch. And until next time.